Good morning. Welcome to today's meeting for the Assembly Committee on Government Affairs for the 2025 legislative session. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Assembly members Carter.
Present.
DeLong.
Present.
De Silva. Edgeworth.
Present.
Flanagan.
Here.
Gallant. Goulding.
Here.
Gurr.
Here.
Hunt.
Here.
Jackson. Karras.
Here.
Kasama. Wynn.
Here.
Chair Considine.
And I am here. We do have a quorum. If you could please record Assembly members Gallant, De Silva, and Kasama present when they arrive. And welcome to the audience in Carson City, those joining by video conference in Las Vegas, and those listening over the internet. As usual, I would like to start with some housekeeping measures. First, please check and silence your electronic devices. If you wish to testify, please sign in at the door and provide a business card to our committee secretary. When testifying, please turn the microphone on and clearly state your name and any affiliation for the record. Turn the microphone off each time you are done speaking. If you are providing handouts, please ensure that hard copies are available for members of the public. Electronic copies should have been submitted to our committee manager by 9 a.m. on Friday for our committee members. We expect courtesy and respect in our interactions during the meeting, even if we disagree with someone else's position. And committee members will be using their laptops to view handouts and other documents. Please do not interpret this as a sign of disrespect or inattention. Today, we will hear 3 bills. We will begin with Senate Bill 15, which revises various provisions relating to governmental administration. Next, we will hear SB 117, which revises provisions relating to services for veterans. And finally, we will hear SB 297, which revises provisions relating to periods of observance. To ensure we get through everyone fairly and in a timely manner today, we will set a 20-minute time limit for each period of support, opposition, and neutral testimony, with each speaker having up to 2 minutes. And let's get started. I will now open the hearing on Senate Bill 15. To present this measure, we will have representatives from Clark County, and please go ahead when you're ready.
Hello, Chair Considine and members of the committee. My name is Ashley Kennedy, representing Clark County, here to present Senate Bill 15. This bill aims to modernize and streamline several administrative processes related to county operations. I'll walk through the key sections of the bill, and then in the first reprint, that includes a couple changes. So sections 1 through 3 are related to the Debt Management Commission, which consists of representatives from local governing bodies and 2 public members. This commission is responsible for reviewing and approving proposals related to general obligation debt, and special elective tax levies for entities under its jurisdiction. Under current law, the commission must meet every February, select a chair and vice chair, hold an annual meeting in August, and if the county population exceeds 700,000, so for us, Clark County, meet monthly. Additionally, by August 1st of each year, local governing bodies must submit an annual report detailing existing and future debts and a debt management policy, and also a 5-year capital improvement plan. Clark County's Debt Management Commission receives reports from 24 entities. Staff must review, process, and prepare all 24 reports for an August meeting. While we are not proposing to remove the annual meeting requirement, we are seeking flexibility in scheduling by removing the mandate that it must take place in August. This change will significantly ease the burden in staff about compromising oversight. Sections 3.5 through 6 are related to the county's treasurer's office hours. There is currently a discrepancy in the statutory definition of the county's treasurer's office hours. Currently, state law defines the close of business as 5 p.m., yet in Clark County, the treasurer's office remains open until 5:30. This inconsistency can create confusion, particularly for our constituents making last-minute tax payments who may assume they have till 5:30 when the law states otherwise. Additionally, in its first reprint, SB 15 provides counties flexibility, but also ensures the treasurer's office will not close before 5 p.m. Next is Section 7. This is related to the Clark County School District. This removes a requirement for the school district to report quarterly to the Board of County Commissioners. Under current law, NRS 388G, CCSD must submit these reports in person with their content dictated by CCSD policy. This reporting requirement was implemented in 2017 to provide the board with updates on CCSD's reorganization into local school precincts. However, since that time, Clark County now has an appointed trustee, which has given us direct insight into district matters. As a result, the quarterly report, in our opinion, no longer serves the intended purpose. To be clear, we are not proposing to remove the reporting requirement for all of the cities, just for Clark County. And then lastly, Section 8 relates to franchise agreements. We are seeking to modernize how we notify the public about franchise agreements. Currently, before voting on a franchise application, the county commission must publish a notice in the newspaper and physically post notices in public places within unincorporated towns. So in Clark County, with 8 urban and 11 rural towns, we are required to post notices in up to 57 locations if the franchise applicant seeks a county-wide service. In today's digital age, most residents learn about county meetings and issues online, not through physical postings. In the first reprint, Section 8 proposes reducing the number of physical postings from 3 notices in each unincorporated town to just 1. This change strikes a balance between reducing the administrative burden and ensuring public notices remain available. That is the contents of the bill. In conclusion, we're really just trying to make some practical updates to improve efficiency and maintaining transparency, and we hope that this will help county staff better serve the public and reduce some unnecessary administrative burdens. And with that, I stand for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a quick, very thorough presentation. Committee members, any questions? So I just have one question, and this kind of goes back to the timing. So what this change is that Clark County that's open till 5:30 can stay open till 5:30 because the current law says only 5, but it doesn't change any other counties, how they have their current opening and closing hours. It just makes sure that being open at 5:30, everybody knows and doesn't get confused.
Yeah, so current, Ashley Kennedy for the record, representing Clark County. When we were working on this bill in the Senate, what we were trying to do was just clarify under the county treasurer statutes in particular that there's certain various deadlines. For example, if you are delinquent on your property taxes, you have a deadline in your notice, you have to get to the county by 5 p.m. because that's the state law. However, for us, if we're open till 5:30, it can be confusing for folks who are showing up maybe after work, and we legally cannot accept it because technically we can't after 5. So in working on this in the Senate, what we were trying to do was say that the county treasurer can accept things through their close of business, and whatever that is. This really was an impact for Clark County. We were the only county of the 17 that were open till 5:30. Most of the counties were open till 5. One of the questions that was raised in the Senate was, well, what happens now that you have this flexibility? What if a county decides to open sooner and you inadvertently have granted less access than what you were intended to do? So as a compromise, we suggested, okay, the county will do it based off of the county's hours, but a county can't close before 5. And so that's what that language is clarifying. I know that there was another bill in the assembly side as well that has this language as well, and I think there was some questions on if what this would mean for other county departments. And so we're still talking with LCB Legal, at least through on Assembly Bill 133, to see if there is anything we need to adjust. But that our intent is, at the very least in Clark County, we can accept things till 5:30. That is our goal.
Thank you so much. And now we will move on to testimony. As usual, testimony can be provided here in person in Carson City via video conference in Las Vegas or by phone, and instructions for providing testimony can be found on the agenda. We will start here in Carson City. If you would like to testify in support of SB 15, please come forward and begin when you are ready.
Good morning, Chair Considine, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Nick Schneider, Director of Government Affairs for the Vegas Chamber, and we are here in support of SB 15 today as it provides some extra flexibility in paying the county treasurer. As you just heard, Clark County's treasurer does remain open a little bit later, and this does allow folks to pay outside of your common business hours. And as such, that's why we're in support and ask for your support of this measure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else here in Carson City wishing to testify in support of SB 15? Seeing no one approach, we'll go to Las Vegas. Would you like to testify in support of SB 15? Seeing no movement to the table, AVH will go to you. Is there anyone on the lines for support in SB 15?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 15, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. Chair, we have no callers for testimony in support.
Thank you. We will then move to testimony in opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in opposition to SB 15? Seeing no one in Las Vegas, would you like to testify in opposition to SB 15? Seeing no movement, AVH, we're back to you on opposition for SB 15.
If you would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 15, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. We have no callers for opposition of Senate Bill 15.
Thank you. We will then move to neutral. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in neutral on the bill? Seeing no one, we'll go back to Las Vegas. Would you wish to testify? No. And then we will move to AVH. Is there anyone on the lines for neutral testimony on SB 15?
If you would like to testify in neutral for Senate Bill 15, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. Chair, we have no callers wishing to testify under neutral at this time.
Thank you very much. Would the presenter like to come in to make any, and they're waiving any final remarks? Thank you. I will close the hearing on SB 15 and will open the hearing on SB 117, which revises provisions relating to services for veterans. To present this measure, we have Senator Cruz Crawford, and please go ahead when you are ready.
Thank you, Chair Constantine and members of the Assembly Committee on Government Affairs. I am Shelley Cruz Crawford, Senator from Senate District 1 in North Las Vegas. While we're getting this up and running, I will briefly introduce this bill. This bill is simply a, is it on? Okay. Is simply a measure that provides already created federal resources for people that were less than honorably discharged due to their LGBTQ status during the Don't Ask, Don't Tell. For those of you that don't know, Don't Ask, Don't Tell ran from 1994 till 2011. And many people were less than honorably discharged due to that. And that a result of that is that they lose some of their benefits. So I am currently an active National Guard member in the Air Force, and there's many benefits that come with that, including health insurance, VA loans, opportunities for our next generation of kiddos to go to school, and they properly deserve these. This is already a federal resource that is available. You do have a handout, and it's just requesting that our 20 veteran centers within the state of Nevada post these resources so that they have better access to them. I'll run through the bill briefly. Right here, which is in your handout, shows the benefits that you get from different levels of discharge. So as you can see with honorable, you have all of those green eligibility dots, and as you go through the different levels of discharge, you lose some of your benefits. This bill has a $0 fiscal note because we're using already provided materials by the federal government. They are just posting those federal documents for resources to change status from less than honorable to honorable discharge. That is the bill, so I'll leave it open to any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. We do have a question from Assemblymember DeLong.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the very brief presentation. You said something at the end that just makes me wonder, are you saying that this bill will change their discharge status from dishonorable to honorable?
So this is federally created resources. There's a resource center that they can contact and items that are already provided on that pathway. So this is a pathway for them to open up their
Okay.
case to get it relooked at.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that was Senator Cruz Crawford for the record.
Senator Cruz Crawford, for the record.
Thank you. Committee members, any other questions? Seeing none, we will move on to testimony. Thank you for your presentation. We will start testimony here in Carson City in support of Senate Bill 117. We will then move to Las Vegas and then move to the phone lines, but again, we will start here in Carson City in person. Please go ahead when you are ready.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Considine, Vice Chair Wynn, and members of the Assembly Government Affairs Committee. My name is Wesley Harper. I am the Director of Government Affairs for the City of North Las Vegas. The city is in support of SB 117, and we appreciate the work of Senator Cruz Crawford and Joint Sponsor Assemblymember Moore to bring this bill forward. The City of North Las Vegas has demonstrated its commitment to supporting all veterans. 17,642 veterans live in North Las Vegas, and we are home to the only jurisdictional veteran-focused center in Southern Nevada. The Veterans Community and Resource Center provides comprehensive support for veterans and their families, and I'm happy to share details about the center at the committee's request. Again, thank you, Chair and Committee, for allowing my statement of support.
Good morning, Chair Considine, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Nick Schneider, Director of Government Affairs for the Vegas Chamber, and we are here in support of SB 117, as this helps our veterans in accessing resources to appeal the character of their discharge, which helps in not only accessing the benefits that they are owed, but also helps in the job-seeking process. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Chair and committee members. For the record, my name is Andrew LaPilbut. I'm the chairman of the United Veterans Legislative Council for Nevada, representing approximately 250,000 veterans in the state. We're in support of SB 117, bringing the central information so these veterans can look to upgrade their discharge. And the senator's comments are relative because under certain circumstances over the last few decades, the conditions at the time some of these veterans are discharged are unfavorable to them. And some of them may in fact deserve an upgrade, significant upgrade, and not miss out on the benefits that they earned over the decades they were in service for us. Thank you.
Thank you. We will then move to Las Vegas. Please, sir, go ahead with your testimony in support of SB 117.
Good morning, Chair Considine, Vice Chair Wynn, and members of the Assembly Committee on Government Affairs. For the record, I am Fred Wager, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Southern Nevada State Legislative Chair, and Disabled American Veterans Benefits Protection Team Lead, here to testify in support of Senate Bill 117. I'd like to, first of all, thank Senator Cruz Crawford for sponsoring this bill, as this is an issue I've assisted veterans with in the past. Nevada SB 117 addresses the challenges faced by veterans seeking to upgrade their military discharge status. Many veterans, despite serving honorably and under difficult circumstances, find themselves with less than honorable discharge classifications that limit their access to crucial benefits and services. This bill can provide awareness of resources for Nevada's veterans with less than honorable discharges, including educational outreach and advocacy support. By implementing these measures, the bill will underscores Nevada's commitment to its veteran population, recognizing their service while addressing past inequities. SB 117 gives hope for veterans seeking to rectify their discharge status by providing advocacy and outreach efforts. This bill ensures that Nevada's veterans have the support they need to access and the benefits and recognitions they deserve. VFW and DAV fully support SB 117. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. AVH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in support of SB 117?
To testify in support of Senate Bill 117, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. Chair, we have no callers for support at this time.
Thank you. We will then move to opposition to Senate Bill 117. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in opposition to the bill? Seeing no one and seeing no one else, in Las Vegas, AVH, we're back to you for opposition testimony for SB 117.
To testify in opposition of Senate Bill 117, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. Thank you, Chair. We have no callers in opposition.
Thank you. Then we will move to neutral. Is there anyone in Carson City wishing to testify in neutral to SB 117? Please go ahead when you are ready.
Good morning, Joe Thiele, Executive Officer for the Department of Veteran Services, and the department is neutral on this legislation. Thank you.
Both, it's both? Fantastic, thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone in Las Vegas wishing to testify in neutral? Seeing no one else who hasn't testified in Las Vegas, AVH, we're back to you for neutral testimony on SB 117.
If you would like to testify in neutral for Senate Bill 117, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. We have no callers to testify in neutral at this time.
Thank you. Senator, would you like to come up to make any final remarks?
Thank you, Chair and Committee. I would just like to take Senator Cruz Crawford for the record. I would just like to take a moment to thank our veterans that came up and testified today. It is definitely a sacrifice, and the benefits are just a small thank you for the work. I know Assemblymember De Silva and I both use our veteran health insurance here while we serve in the legislature, and if it helps, right now we have trans service members that are having to separate from the military, and they are getting honorable discharge. So just to, it is in line with the current practices. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I will now close the hearing on Senate Bill 117, and we will now open the Okay, we're going to take a 1-minute recess. Thank you. And we are back from recess. And I will now open the hearing on Senate Bill 297, which revises provisions relating to periods of observance. To present this measure, we have Senator Wynn, and please go ahead when you're ready. Welcome to Assembly Government Affairs.
And thank you for being flexible with my co-presenter as well. You can see we are all multitasking here, not just in this building, but also in presentations. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rochelle Wynn, and I proudly represent Senate District 3 in Southern Nevada. I'm excited to be here. I always enjoy coming to the Assembly. Don't tell my fellow senators, but it does feel a little bit like coming home. So I always feel comfortable, and I'm excited to be here. I apologize that it was a little late. I was hoping I got to lecture the judiciary branch on their budgets, but it looks like I get to spend some time with you all here this morning. I'm really excited to be here to present Senate Bill 297, which revises provisions relating to periods of observation. Essentially, what we're doing is we're bringing some recognition to a real issue that affects more than half of the population at any given time in their lives. And specifically, it is to observe and designate the month of October as Menopause Awareness Month. With me today, I also have Sue Birch, who is the Executive Director and Coordinator of the Nevada Now organization, and she is on the Zoom here. But before I do that, I'll provide some background information along with a short summary of this bill before handing it over for some additional comments. Essentially, that's what it does. It raises awareness and it brings some background information. I think raising awareness about some of these things are crucial to addressing significant knowledge gaps that exist amongst women and healthcare providers. Many of women enter these life stages without understanding the symptoms, such as mood swings, brain fog, fatigue, and often mistake them for other unrelated health issues around normal aging. For me, I like to tell people about how these things came up. Obviously, I'm a woman of a certain age, and I started experiencing weight gain, issues. I was sweating all the time, or I was freezing. I started losing hair at crazy amounts. I had a lot of things that I had going on. And I will say that it started off as a conversation that took place because I was on a blog for parents that are women lawyers. And we had women that were starting on, it was started as a Facebook page, and it has later exploded into something much more than that. But it became where I found women that were willing to talk about some of the common health issues that we were struggling with, struggling to find doctors that even knew what perimenopause was or what menopause was, what some of the things. I had women in this group that thought they were having mental health or having dementia issues, and were seeking treatment for anxiety and other mental health disorders, only to find out after talking with various doctors that were actually educating themselves on some of these things that it was in fact just they were going through menopause. And there was different ways to treat it other than what they had thought that was the initial problem. We started talking about some of this. It was always interesting in my household. I have a 13-year-old daughter. So we were having open conversations about periods, which is something that until recently, and I probably with a female majority legislature, that we were starting to have some of these conversations around period poverty and menstrual cycles and other things that typically a lot of times people have grown up not talking about. And what I found is that same generation of women were not talking about some of these health issues that we were learning on later on in life. So I started looking at types of legislation that I could bring around areas, whether it be testosterone treatment, off-label marketing of other types of drugs. And I learned a whole lot about what was lacking in our system and what was lacking in our healthcare. And it came down to what our doctors were being tested on national boards. Sometimes there wasn't a lot of focus on perimenopausal or menopausal health. And so there was just a lack of a lot of information around this. And so before I realized that, I realized I need to bring more awareness to this. I need to normalize these conversations. I need to make it normal for people to understand that do this. So a lot of times people are like, what does this do? It's just a recognition month. It's not a holiday. No one's getting a day off from work. What is their significance? We've done this before. We did it during the 2021 session to bring awareness to prostate cancer in hopes that, like, talking about this, having the highest levels of our government, having our governor stand up and talk about the importance of women's health and perimenopausal and menopausal health, why it's important and why it affects so many people in our community, and what we can be doing as policymakers to bring education campaigns and to bring resources to those areas where it's desperately needed. So that's why I am bringing this here today, is because do I think this is going to change the world? No, but I think it is going to start educating our population and empowering women to recognize and manage their symptoms, but also advocate for better healthcare training and policies to ensure moving forward that we have comprehensive support. And I believe that a bill like this will bring that. And with that, I will turn this over to Sue, who is on the Zoom right there. It looks like in her car. It doesn't look like she's moving, so that is good. And with the chair's permission, I will turn this over to her.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I am in my car. Good morning, everyone. As the Senator said, my name is Sue Birch, Sueburtch, and I am the Executive Director of the Nevada chapter of the National Organization for Women. I'm not moving. I'm in the parking lot of my work. So just so you know, I'm not going anywhere. There's not a whole lot I can add to what the Senator has already said, but having Awareness Month for perimenopause and menopause will help to dispel the myths and misconceptions. We're barely taught about when menstruation begins, but we're never taught about how it ends. What it looks like, what it feels like, what is normal, what's not. It's not just about hot flashes, mood swings. There's also risk factors of cardiovascular disease and osteoporosis. They increase after menopause. And perimenopause can go on for years. So how do we have those conversations with our physicians when we don't know what we don't know? Like the Senator, I've had a number of conversations with members and friends, and no, truth is we don't talk about this enough. And I really can't stress enough how much awareness months are needed. Just for the education purchases, because there's so much misinformation out there. And as the Senator said, there's challenges in finding the right physician. For too long, we've been told it's part of life, deal with it. But, hot flashes, lack of sleep, brain fog, all those things, as the Senator said, we mistake them for other things. So, why can't we seek the treatments to give us a better quality of life? And by making it some awareness months and education, we can do just that. So we urge you to support SB 297 and show the women of Nevada that we care about healthcare, that they are not alone. They don't have to sit back and suffer. They can get through these phases of their lives. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the presentation, both of you. Is there anyone on the committee who has any questions?
You do.
Still seeing no questions, we will move towards testimony. Thank you so much for the presentation. And as always, testimony can be provided here in person in Carson City, via video conference in Las Vegas, and over the phone with instructions for providing testimony being found on the agenda. All testimony will be limited to 2 minutes, and we will begin here in Carson City in person. Anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in support of SB 297? Seeing no one approach, we'll move to Las Vegas. I'm not seeing anyone in Las Vegas, so AVH will go to the phone lines. Is there anyone wishing to provide support testimony on SB 297?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 297, please press *9 to take your place in the queue. Chair, we have no callers for testimony in support at this time.
Thank you. We will then move to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to provide opposition testimony to SB 297? Seeing no one approach the table and still seeing no one in Las Vegas, we're back to you, AVH, for testimony in opposition to SB 297.
If you would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 297, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue.
Good morning. My name is Ellen Gifford, ELLEN, GIFF as in Frank, ORD as in David. This bill has the makings of looking intrusive, offensive, and a waste of taxpayer money. A woman's experience of menopause is not only a natural part of life, it is personal. If this bill is intended to help with the health issues of menopause, that's what it should say, so as to warrant the time and money that is being spent on it. It is not immediately obvious that it's meant to be helpful and meaningful. Rather, it appears to simply spotlight a woman's personal life's experience. This has resulted in a large number of Nevadans opposing the bill, as seen in posted opinions. The name of the bill should be explicit about its purpose, such as Menopause Health Issues Awareness Month. Section 3A could read, bring to the attention of the residents of this state factual information and educational programs regarding menopause and the possible health issues it can incur. Excuse me. In addition, this bill should disclose all information regarding how it has been influenced by the National Menopause Foundation's Women's Midlife Health Policy Institute, which just launched their October Menopause Awareness Month. What part Nevada will play in their recently developed action plan, and how much funding we taxpayers will be responsible for. Thank you.
Chair, we have no additional callers in opposition at this time.
Thank you. We will move to neutral. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in neutral on SB 297? Seeing no one and still seeing no one in Las Vegas, AVH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in neutral on SB 297?
Thank you. The public line is open and working. We have no callers for neutral at this time.
Thank you. And would the presenter like to come up and make any final remarks? Please go ahead when you're ready.
Sorry, I left this microphone on. Rochelle Wynn for the record. I just wanted to make it clear, this doesn't cost us any money. It is just a formal recognition. I think you can all read the actual text of and it doesn't direct any funds to any research or anything, although I think that is always necessary. And the reason that we chose the month that we did is because that is nationally recognized by the organization that was mentioned by one of the callers in opposition as a month that states and our country has chose to routinely recognize this and bring awareness to this. And with that, I will leave it to you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and your presentation on this bill, and I will now close the hearing on SB 297, which just leaves public comment. Public comment is not an opportunity to rehear testimony on a bill, and we ask that you please keep your public comment to topics within the jurisdiction of this committee. As a reminder, members of the public can always provide public comment in person or telephonically and may submit public comment up to 24 hours after the meeting. Instructions for providing public comment can be found on the agenda. For providing public comment telephonically, today you can dial 888-475-4499. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, enter 878-1551-7015, and then press pound when prompted for a participant ID. Each person will have up to 2 minutes to provide testimony, and you may also, again, submit written testimony up to the committee up to 24 hours after the hearing. Please remember to clearly state and spell your name for the record. And is there any public comment here in Carson City today? Seeing no movement here in the room and seeing no one in Las Vegas, AVH, is there anyone on the line for public comment today?
If you would like to provide public comment, please press star 9 to take your place in the queue. Chair, we have no callers for public comment at this time.
Thank you. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 29th at 8:30, and we're back in room 4100. And that concludes our meeting today. The meeting is adjourned. Happy Monday.